Hey everyone. So I said I was going to do budget guides for all the bosses. Here we are. Now, if you're looking at this, the first thing you'll notice is 4 EX+3 units. Yes, can't do anything about this. Just don't have them at lower EX levels. Rest assured, all of this works with an EX+1 Shadow, this works with an EX+1 Kryla, this works with an EX+1 Cetra Descendant Aerith, and I consider her still budget because she was given out for free. Question is, how long do I want to consider her budget? Because if you skipped her event or wasn't just playing at it, you don't have her, probably. Kryla, she's one of the most favorite units, so I'm just assuming you guys have her. If you don't have Kryla, Conchi is another possible substitute for this. The 7-star Conchi, that is. Let me just show you the unit so you know which one I mean by that. She's I believe, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius unit. Let's go all the way down to C. There she is. I don't have her at 7-star. I can't even get her at 7-star. But she does pretty much the same thing that Kryla does, but a little bit worse. Kryla has 45% Dark Amp. She has 15%, 120 Imperil. Kryla has 130. She also imbues, just like Kryla. So it is possible. She also has her LB, which is 25 Dark Amp, so that's decent, right? It also is a 300% stat boost. So Conchi, a decent substitute for Kryla if you don't have her. Alright, let's check out the gear real quick. It's nothing too fancy, really. It's Kagenui, Ragnarok, that's all there is. We've got 2 weapons on Xon. Make sure you to either wear his TMR or STMR. With that's, by the way, all of it. Nothing else. Kryla, nothing in base form, no vision card. Brave Shift has just some resistances, not needed though. Avalanches. Jessie is our passive provoke evasion unit, has some LB fill rate, positive prosperity. I hope you bought it. If you don't have it, Dragon's Brush is an alternative. I'm using Locke's Dagger for the evasion. Just pick whatever evasion weapon you have. Those are actually the only 2 STMRs in use on this whole thing, and it's 7-star STMRs, so those are easily attainable via UOCs. Oh, 3 STMRs. I'm using her own too, obviously. Those are the abilities. I'm leaving one out in case you don't have an evasion weapon, for example. You can just use another evasion materia instead. Cetra Descendant Aerith has no gear whatsoever. And then Tidus, the unit that is dealing the damage here. Now, with budget gear, this is a little bit trickier to do. And truth be told, on my test runs, this yielded a rather close cap. Now, if yours is EX+2, you might want to use, you might want to use stronger gearing because you're missing out on flat attack from EX+3. Don't stress about the TMR or STMR, you don't really need it. But yeah, you need EX Awakenings, especially EX+3 gives you 1000 static attack. So if you don't have this, you gotta make up for it via equipment pieces and materials. Like, I am not using the very best materials here. The mightiest, for example, it's not ideal. Certainly not ideal. You want to use Yuna's STMR, you want Orin's STMR on him for more static attack and more LB damage. You also want a different kind of Machina killer, for example. Say, a good way to boost the damage is Cindy's STMR for 100%. Valued Memories is another very good one. It's Machina as well. Last Guardian, 80% attack, 75% Machina killer. Another very, very valuable STMR to have. Now, I am using the Final Fantasy VI Vision card from Celeste for the LB damage mainly. If you don't have that, there's a few options I'm gonna show you to substitute this. Mainly, let's scroll all the way down here. Obviously, you can use premium cards such as Sephiroth or Tifa's card, for example. Those have 50. So if you happen to have a Sephiroth card, even better. It has more attack. It has a 50% LB damage, so that's a 25 gain. But if you don't have it, don't sweat it. Final Fantasy Type 0 from Kurosame. Same deal as with Celeste's card, 25 LB damage, 50 attack. Same attack, base attack value. So those are a few substitutes that you can get. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. It should still be fine. If you have, the better you gear, the easier time you will have, obviously. But this works, I tested it. And if you have Tidus' STMR, you can slap this on him and it's going to be even easier. All right, let's dive right in. Now, I'm doing this as if you had EX+3 Tidus. So we are going to use his super limit burst on turn 3. And the boss did literally nothing on the first 2 turns, so that is all good. And if you're going for turn 4 clear, on turn 3, make sure to use Ace in the Hole, but I'll do tell you in advance. Alright, so Jesse is going to be using Refurbished Grenade and the Midgar special. The boss uses Fire and Wind damage. So my Jessie has 100% resistance to both. In fact, she has it to all, but she really only needs Fire and Wind. And if you're going past turn 4, I believe, Water comes into play, but you can Mirage that away, I believe. Alright, Kryla is going to, she starts in Shift and stays in Shift. She's going to use Twilight Pact, which is a 350% stat buff and 45 Dark and Light Amp for the unit. It also damages the unit by 6666 in damage, but that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. We're going to use Jinx Blasphemous Ritual for the Imbue. And we'll start imbuing Tidus, we'll start imbuing Mastermind Xon. So Tidus on the first few turns can just guard. Aerith, Wish to Save the Planet. That is her 100% Machina Killer and Human Killer. So let's do that as well. Master Xon can just triple AR on this for some LB drops for Jesse, but Jesse should be fine regardless. Hopefully. We'll see. And yeah, we can shift Shadow and he can just do, oh wait, will be absolutely fine. Shadow has Concealing Shadow to fill LB gauge. So that way you can secure Jesse's full LB gauge on turn 2. So here's the single attack the boss does. We passive evaded that. Right, Jessie turn 2, I Never Miss, which is her 87% break and 120% imperil to everything, but we will override that imperil anyway. So let's do that. Tidus, he doesn't have anything to do, honestly, so he can just guard another turn. Aerith, she needs to LB on turn 2. If you are going for turn 4 clear, because your Tidus is EX+2, for example, you could delay this and gather more LB crystals if your Aerith isn't EX+2. And one more time to reiterate from my previous videos, you need to max her LB level to have her LB ready on turn 1 if she's EX+2. Kryla is going to Jinx Dark Imbue Blasphemous Ritual on Shadow and on Jesse. And the last one, honestly, up to you. I'm just going to do Twilight Pact on Shadow because he can deal some damage, but he's not going to really. It's just to boost a little bit of damage. Xon and Shadow have nothing to do here, so we can just guard them. Alright. So here's one fire attack, but Jesse doesn't take any damage. Alright, Kryla is going to use Elemental Wrath. This is a 130 imperil to the enemy side and also a 100% imperil to your own team, but it's fine, we're killing the boss on this very turn regardless. So let's do that. Tidus is going to SLB. Now if you're lacking damage, you can, and you probably should, gear your Aerith for DPS as best as you can. I will just showcase this with all possibilities. So, Aerith is going to quad her attack chain, and Shadow plus Xon will AR and double SR. Exactly. Mastermind Xon will do the same. Now, I've heard from people that they are having troubles doing AR double SR. If it's easier for you to do double AR and one single SR, that's fine too. Pick whatever is best for you. Alright, we'll start this off with Aerith. We'll set in these two. An extended chain with both of them. We need exactly, let me check, we need 1 billion and 30 million, so 1.030 to cap. We overcapped by a landslide, 40% more than we needed to, but that is variance. My previous run where I tested this, it yielded 1.1 billion, so there is some variance in play, as always is with true double hand units. But if you are struggling because you don't have EX+3 Tidus, for example, you can equip Cetra Descendant Aerith with DPS gear. You can equip Shadow and Mastermind Xon with DPS gear to just gain that little edge in damage. So, yep, that is pretty much it. And as you can see, we need 17,000 points. We got those 17,000 points, all missions, all done. Perfect score. No time limited units needed. I hope this was helpful to you, and we'll see each other tomorrow and throughout the whole weekend for more budget guides. And if you have any questions, ask in the comments and I'll gladly help. See you then. Bye bye.